Okay, well, welcome. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here tonight. This is the April 16th, 2025 Town Hall meeting, and it is sponsored by Conifer Area Council. Are any of the rest of you ready for summer? Anybody ready for summer? I'm seeing some hands. You know, our weather is so confusing. We're under a red flag warning today and tomorrow, snow advisory on Friday. I never know whether to wear boots or sandals, so, you know, who knows. Anyway, a very, very special thanks to Core Electric Cooperative and Christy and Tiffany with Remax Alliance for their community support of tonight's town hall meeting. I'd also like to thank My Mountain Town for videotaping tonight's meeting, Conifer Jazzercise for providing water, it's in the back, and Marketing Type Guys for technical and website support. So we do have water and cookies and coffee in the back when you're ready for that. A link will be available tomorrow to view the meeting again if you'd like. And if you aren't already, please sign up for emails and or texts from Conifer Area Council at the front table so that you can get that link and so much more. Most of you have been to Conifer Area Council Town Hall meetings and special meetings many times, but for anyone new to the meetings, there will be no campaigning and no questions or comments during any of the presentations. And then at 8 o'clock, you'll be able to talk to all of the presenters, the wildfire mitigation specialists, candidates, and others that are actually at tables, and we've got a lot of people here tonight with a lot of great information. So you can talk to all of them during our open house at 8 o'clock. So what is going on around here? First of all, Beth is going to talk a little bit about what's happening with the Chamber of Commerce. She is the Executive Director. Beth.
Thank you, Shirley. Good evening, everyone. We are in the midst of, well, we're not planning anymore, we're executing. Tomorrow night is our annual awards and 50th anniversary celebration for the Chamber. And I just would like to share with you some of the nominees that have been put forth for these awards. We do have several categories, and a couple of the nominees are here tonight. So we have a Rookie of the Business Award for businesses who are new to the area. And we have Dawn's Time, Ripple Ice Cream and Pizza, Taylor Family Dental, Therapeutic Massage and Body Works, Wolf Hoof Meow. And for Business of the Year, we have First Bank of Aspen Park, Jennifer Gann with State Farm, Moore Lumber and Ace Hardware, Taspin's Organics, Wild Iris Marketing. And for Home-Based Business of the Year, we have 4D Strategic Designs, Audra Iori of Great Mortgage Lending, Geese Expeditions, McGlone Photography, and the Kitchen Yeti. And for Nonprofit of the Year, we have the Conifer Area Council, and Joy International, Mountain Women in Business, PeaceWorks, and Resilience 1220. And our nominees for the Norman F. Meyer Award it's a little bit different because this isn't for a business, it's for an individual that contributes greatly to our community. So we have Carrie Brewer, Deb Evans, Matt Lowell, and Punky Kiefer. Is Punky here tonight? Congratulations, Punky. And we have an Ambassador of the Year Award as well. This is someone who contributes a lot to the Chamber. So we have Audra Iori, Crystal Shack, Cynthia Daughtry, Dana Johansson, and Maria Simone. So that's happening tomorrow night. We're really looking forward to this great evening to celebrate the people who make our community great. And then, of course, our big event of the year is coming up on July 26th and 27th, Elevation Celebration. So keep an eye out for more information about that. And remember to keep an eye out for your Neighborhood Connections Gathering. So that's a gathering for every part of the community to get together at this event. The calendar will be on the Go Conifer webpage, so keep that in mind for July. And then also keep an eye out for your community directory. That's going to be coming in the mail by the end of July. And that's great community resources as well as businesses in the community to help you do what you need to do without having to go down the hill or anywhere else. So again, thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Shirley.
Thank you, Beth. So during the elevation celebration, which is always so much fun, we also have our fun run, and we've got the 5K and 10K run, and that's sponsored by Conifer Area Council and the high school club group, and money goes towards trails in Conifer for that. So hope you come, and hope you run in it, and hope to see you there. So next we have Heather Gutherless. She's the Jeffco Planning and Zoning Long Range Planning, and she's going to be talking about Conifer area plan developments.
Thanks, Shirley. Thanks, everyone. This evening, I'm going to talk about some of the key developments that are going on in Conifer. There actually aren't that many big projects that are going on in Conifer right now, so I'll just really quickly touch on a few, and then also want to give you an update on the Together Jeffco project. So first, to let you know, in the Conifer area right now, we're showing 28 active cases. I have to say, I think some of those need to drop off the list, so I need to, every time I get these, I try to cull a couple, but I think some need to drop off. You can see on the screen some of the newer cases or some of the updates to existing cases, and I'll go through some of the key ones, but if you have questions about anything I don't talk about, they're on your list. The development report list that goes out with 2 members of the Conifer Area Council, and I will be around afterwards to talk about any other cases. The first cases that I want to talk about are pre-applications, and just very briefly, pre-applications are very preliminary applications to the county. About 40 to 50% of these never move on to a formal application, which is when we really start doing a lot of in-depth work with the case. So the first one is a 3-lot subdivision off of Highway 285 near the western edge of the county near Pine Junction. 50 acres, they want to use their existing zoning to plat 3 lots. The next case is a little bit more interesting, and it is a request to rezone a property that is off Platte River Road down near Dome Rock. And they have a little less than an acre, and they would like to rezone to allow for 4 rental cabins and then a main lodge on the property. Next, I'll move on to a rezoning case, a couple of rezoning cases that we have. To refresh your memory, rezoning cases are those types of situations where somebody wants to change the allowed use on the property. Maybe they want to change from agricultural to residential or residential to commercial. So the first case is one that actually was approved yesterday by the Board of County Commissioners. This is near 285 and Richmond Hill Road. And this is a proposal to go from agricultural 2 10-acre lots to agricultural 1, which allows 5-acre lots. This did comply with the area plan, the Conifer area plan, as long as special wildfire policies were met. So they did go a little bit above and beyond with their wildfire planning with this case. And it was approved, like I said, just yesterday by the Board of County Commissioners. And then the second rezoning case is a rezoning to allow for light industrial office, limited outdoor storage, and residential just across from Conifer High School, wedged between 285 and Highway 73. I'm bringing this one up because it went from sufficiency review to the first referral in this last round, since our last meeting. There's also a site development plan. I think I'm going to skip through this one, but let me know if you're interested in talking more about it. It relates to a special use that was approved last year, and now they're coming in to construct what was approved. So to talk a little bit about Together Jeffco, the process last time I was here, we had released a partial draft of the comprehensive plan and the transportation mobility plan. When we released that, we sent notices out to over 10,000 subscribers to our Engage Jeffco newsletter. We also posted on Nextdoor and received almost 9,000 impressions. It was on Jeffco social media. We also sent out over 1,500 direct emails to people that said they're interested in this process. And we got about 15 different people to go to our website. We had more hits on our website, but they were repeat customers, so people coming back and looking at it again. With all of that, we received almost 750 comments on both of those plans. We received about 200 comments on our transportation mobility plan and about 550 on the comprehensive plan, which is incredible. But it also means that it has been taking us a little bit longer than we anticipated to go through all the comments, because we do read all of the comments that we get. I wanted to let you know that because we have been delayed and I need to send out an email update on this. But we do read all the comments, and when we're done, we are going to release a spreadsheet that shows all of the comments and how the county has addressed them, so that you know how we responded to your comments. That is all I wanted to say, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Heather. So I think probably you all know that we are getting a new library, which is fabulous. And Jared Johnson is here. He's the Public Services Manager for the new Conifer Library, and he's going to give an update.
Good evening, everyone. So in the last few months, we have submitted permits for the new Conifer location. We have not received the full permits back yet, but we did get our demo permit a few weeks ago. So if you've been by the Safeway location, over by the Safeway, we have started demo, and we are wrapping up that process now. And hopefully here in the next few weeks, we will receive our full permit and we can start the build out phase of the new library. So we are really excited about that. Some things to look forward to in the new library. We're going to have a study room with a TV and writable walls. We're going to have 2 meeting spaces that can be combined into one. We're also going to have comfortable spaces like dedicated children's, teen, and adult areas in the library with comfortable seating, study booth, etc. So we're really excited about that. And our Conifer team in the last week or so has selected some of the fabrics for the furniture options that we're choosing for the location, which is really exciting. So things are moving along. Additionally, if you have been to the current Conifer location in the high school, you may have noticed that there's some collection work happening over there, so we're shifting around materials. We are working with the high school to set them up for success once we leave, because they are going to turn the library into a school library, and so we're going to leave them some materials and some furniture, and we are working on that process now because it takes a lot of time. So you might see that. We might shift things around, just be aware of that, and if you need help finding anything, just let us know. And then lastly, we have programs happening every Saturday from 10:15 to 10:45. We have our story time programs, so please feel free to come out, bring the family. We have a lot of fun with those. Additionally, it's not too far away, but our summer challenge it is going to start in June. We have our kickoff party June 1st. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're really excited to kick off summer and our summer hours, which we hopefully will announce soon. But we're going to have lots of summer challenge programming happening this summer. So we hope you come out to the existing location. And finally, if you want any updates on the building projects or programs that are happening, feel free to visit our website, jeffcolibrary.org. And if you have any questions, I'll be in this back area after the presentations are over. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. This is also exciting. So there's going to be some upcoming forestry work at Beaver Ranch by Jeffco Open Space, and Tony's here to talk to us very, very briefly about that.
This isn't my slide. There's my slide. Okay, sweet. If you haven't heard me speak before, my name is Tony Ochello. I'm one of the Natural Resources team leads at Jefferson County Open Space. Following up on a couple of my previous presentations, just wanted to let you know that as promised, we are starting our work at Beaver Ranch this summer. It should be about 80 acres, 86 acres, I don't know why I didn't know that. It is being funded by the Colorado Strategic Wildfire Action Plan and Denver Water. So only 18% of these project costs are coming from county funds. So I just think that's really cool. I'm going to be in the back to answer any questions about this project. And we've got a QR code up here, and I've got one in the back that will take you to our website, which has a ton of information on the projects. So if you don't have a chance to chat with me back there, check out our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. So if any of you are a patient at Conifer Medical Center, you may have read a sign there that states, please do not drink the water due to high amounts of polyfluoroalkyl color. I'm not even going to try. So we have David and Kelsey here from the Colorado Department, of Public Health and Environment. They're going to tell you what that word is and what it means for us and our water.
Thank you so much for having us. So we call it PFAS for a reason. It's because the real name is very long, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. So these are human-made chemicals, exist in about a family of around 15,000, and because of their properties, they resist heat, oil, stains, and so they've ended up in a lot of our products that you can see in those pictures. And the problem is that they don't break down naturally how they're created, and so they can build up, and there's health studies just showing that there's health risks associated with these chemicals. And just last year, EPA finalized maximum contaminant levels for a handful of these chemicals to protect human health. So what are maximum contaminant levels? And it's really just something that considers health information, it considers our ability to test for them, treat for them, the costs associated with that. And really if you're above maximum contaminant levels, then there's just a higher risk of getting some of the health effects. And whether you get them or not just totally depends on a lot of different factors, including your age, lifestyle, health history, and just kind of different ways that you're exposed to them. So the Safe Drinking Water Act, it's the EPA that creates these maximum contaminant levels that we adopt in our state. And these are for public water systems. So these are the ones that are supplying businesses, cities, the schools, are all required to follow these maximum contaminant levels. They notify all of their customers of what they detect, the levels in them. If they're above, then they're required to take action to reduce the levels in the water. So, talking with a lot of people earlier, a lot of people have private wells, and these are not regulated by the maximum contaminant levels. So I'm sure everyone's interested, well, what's in the water around this Conifer area? And so these are all of the public water systems that have tested for these chemicals proactively so far. So you can see some of the communities, and then the transient systems are ones that serve water where people may only have a glass and take off, like restaurants or a gas station that also have their own source water. And the good news is right now is that no one is serving drinking water that's above these maximum contaminant levels in this area. But we have had a couple systems, Conifer High School and the Conifer Medical Center, that in their well water that they've tested, they did find higher levels of these PFAS chemicals. We have a grant program to support testing for our public water systems, and when we do find higher levels, we partner with them to reduce the exposure. So both the high school and Conifer Medical Center have treatment in place to reduce the PFAS, and have notified everyone just about that. What's shown on the right there is a dashboard that's going to be available to the public very soon. And so we are going to be constantly testing. All our water providers are going to be required to do a series of tests, and we're going to make all those results available on our website. So please visit that, and you can kind of keep up to date with what we're finding in the test for wherever you're at. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kelsey to talk about private wells.
Thanks, David. So as David mentioned before, we know most people in the audience here are probably on a private well, and private wells are not regulated under the Safe Drinking Water Act. So we just did a pilot project for a new private well testing program in Baisley in 2024 for PFAS. And you can get a free PFAS test starting in May. We're opening this program statewide to any private well user in Colorado. We have, in addition, we're going to have filtration offerings for people who have certain PFAS levels and meet certain income eligibility requirements if you participate in this program. We have so much information that we can give you about this program over at our table over there. Erin is our health educator on this private well project. She can tell you everything you want to know about private wells testing for PFAS through this project. So I know we're out of time. Thank you. If you want to take a picture of this slide, these are all the different ways you can contact us for all your questions about PFAS on private wells, or other questions about how the environment may impact your health. We also have flyers over at our table with all of this information as well. And I think I had some extra slides in case I have time, but I do not. So chat with me after if you want to know any of this stuff.
This is a teaser.
Thank you, David and Kelsey. We really appreciate that. Well, first of all, I wanted to let you know that the Conifer Area Council website has a lot of information about PFAS. We did talk to these guys. Our water team did a lot of study. John Wallach is here. He's done a lot of work on that. Peter Barkley's done a lot of work on that. We thank them very, very much, and it's on our website, so there's a lot more information there too. Wildfire. This is the #1 critical issue facing us here in the Conifer area. Preparedness, response, and recovery are all so important, and we have several organizations that are here to help. The Conifer Fire Departments are here to talk, and it looks like we've got Skip and Kurt and John. Is Ben going to talk? Okay, so just these three. So they're going to talk for a little bit, letting you know what all they do for us.
Good evening. Thank you all for attending tonight. My name is Kurt Rogers. I'm the chief at Conifer Fire Protection District now. That's the combination of North Fork and Inner Canyon Fire Protection Districts. We unified at the beginning of the year and have been working together since the beginning of the year. And currently what we've been working on is combining our administrative functions together into one agency. With me tonight is Deputy Chief Skip Shirlaw with Conifer Fire and Wildland Captain John Mandl with Conifer Fire. I'm going to turn it over to Skip real quick for a couple of comments, and then we're going to let Captain Mandl talk a little bit more about some wildland stuff to us.
Thanks, Chief. Good evening. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing so far hasn't been very visible necessarily, except for our new logo, which we're excited about. We have just this evening finished our first Conifer Fire EMT class, so that means that 10 members of your community went through this EMT class, and we'll be putting them out in the streets very soon to help with our EMS calls. As Chief said, we're doing a lot of administrative stuff. Some other things you're going to see from us shortly will be a new website. We hope for that to go live soon, and we're working on things like graphics on trucks and things like that. A lot of it, as Chief said, is administrative, not maybe the most exciting stuff, but stuff that must be done for us to move forward. So we're still working hand in hand with Elk Creek. Chief Ware plans to be here later on this evening for the question portion. He's just otherwise detained, but we're still working hand in hand with Elk Creek moving forward. So we'll be available afterwards for any questions that you have, and I'll give it to Captain Mandl.
Chief. All right, real quick, I want to touch on some wildfire preparedness stuff. We recently got some updates from the National Weather Service for some forecast predictions. As you know, recently it's been hot and dry, and that's what the data has shown us. We've had 3 fires already this season that the Wildland Division, Conifer Wildland Division was involved with. Luckily, those were all kept small and contained, and I think that's proof of concept of 3 districts working together, pooling resources together and responding as one unit, which is amazing to see. Forecast going out into June, July timeframe, it's continued hot and dry, which is Not what we want to hear. There is a little bit of hope in the forecast that the monsoons might kick in a little bit earlier and maybe stave off some of that high hazard towards the middle of summer and end of summer. But again, that's forecast, and we just don't know what that's going to turn out to be. One of the things to be proactive, as always, I suggest you hit our websites, hit the Wildland page. It's the same on all 3 districts' websites, and look at the pointers and stuff like that for mitigation. But the big thing that I want to stress tonight is signing up for Lookout Alert. During quarry fire, there were evacuations that took place last summer, and there was a little bit of there were a couple of hiccups in the system with planning units being evacuated, and we have worked through all of that with the county sheriff's office and with our dispatch, and we now have solid data in there as far as who's going to be, what areas are determined as what planning units. If you do not know what planning unit you are in, I invite you over to the Conifer and Oak Creek ambassador table here. There's a map with planning units on there. You can talk with our ambassadors there. I encourage you to jump on the website, send your neighbors to the website for the ambassador page, and there's an interactive map on there. You can put your address in, figure out what planning unit you are in. When we are doing evacuations for any hazard, be it a flood, be it a fire, be it a shelter in place for whatever incident that might be, planning units are going to be referred to. So we're really stressing for you to be engaged and know what your planning unit is. And with that, you're going to get those notifications through Lookout Alert. Please, please, please get on the sheriff's website, and you'll see the sign up for Lookout Alert. If you're not in the system as registered for Lookout Alert, you're not going to get those notifications. And again, that's everything from fire, severe storms, you name it. You'll get alerts on that if it affects your area that you're in. You don't just get everything throughout the county. So I highly emphasize that. If you have questions, we'll be around afterwards, and please do reach out to our ambassadors here and get that information. They're here to help you. So appreciate it.
Thank you. I was wondering if they wanted to do their dance, but they said no. I'm not sure why. Okay, another organization that is just amazing, and they do an awful lot for a lot of people, is the American Red Cross, and Emma Pedersen is here to talk about that.
Hi everyone, as you mentioned, I'm Emma. I work for the American Red Cross here for Colorado and Wyoming. So I just want to briefly talk about a few of the services that we offer through disaster cycle services through the American Red Cross. One of these is response. This will be responding to single or multi-family home fires, our day-to-day response to anyone that's affected by a disaster. Mass care would be sheltering, opening up shelters for more widespread disasters. Our recovery is something that I really do want to highlight. Recovery is the process and the steps that we take to help people who have been affected by a home fire or a wildfire in their recovery. This looks like offering mental health services, offering spiritual care services. We also offer health services, for example, helping people get medications that they may have lost. And we also offer casework through all of our recovery services as well. And then we have a few preparedness programs. We offer CPR and first aid classes, and we also have some preparedness programs for children called the Prepare with Pedro program to help children learn what to do if they're in a home fire. And then relationship management would be the work that we do to maintain relationships with people like the fire department so that if wildfire occurs, we have partnerships readily available in your area. So about sheltering, if there's a wildfire in your area, Red Cross will come out and open a shelter. These shelter locations are predetermined through the community partnerships that we have. We typically look for places like the middle school here where you can have access to a bathroom and a kitchen and that has enough space for us to set up cots. We also provide 3 meals a day, and the recovery services that I was talking about earlier, we bring those recovery people into the shelter so that people who are in the shelter can utilize those services. And I also want to highlight that if a wildfire has affected your area, but you have another place to stay and you don't have to utilize the shelter, you can still come in to receive the recovery services like mental health, health services, casework, or spiritual care, even if you are not residing in the shelter. And something else that we have is a program called Be Red Cross Ready. These are the best practices that we believe to help someone prepare for a home fire or a wildfire in their area. First and foremost would be to have a go kit prepared, and making a plan with the people who are in your household, making sure that each member of the household knows what to do in a house fire, who's going to grab what roles does everyone have, where are you going to meet up, what is your evacuation route, and how are you going to communicate with each other. And then also to make sure that you are informed through I think it was called the alert system that they were just mentioning. Please make sure that you sign up for that. Yeah. And just to briefly kind of talk about the kit a little bit more, make sure that you are gathering things that are essential for every day, but also that you're making sure to think about things that would be more individualized to you, medications, glasses, contacts, contact solution, and if you have pets, to think about them as well. I have a very extensive list over at my table for everything that you might want to include in your kit, as well as some brochures and any other information. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have after. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Emma. Red Cross, they're out there and they're ready for us. So, okay, so we also have the Mountain Metro Association of Realtors, Wildfire Committee, and Cathie and Lyndee are going to talk a little bit about that.
Thank you. My name is Lyndee Louk, and I'm the CEO at Mountain Metro Association of Realtors. And honestly, I love the fact that we got to follow the fire department and we got to follow Red Cross, because one team, one fight. We're all trying to make this a safer place to live and a more prosperous place to live. And we all know that there is a wildfire risk, so I think it's super awesome. We're going to echo kind of what they said, but really quick, I just want to tell you guys, what is MMAR? See, it's pointing at the computer and I already forgot. Anyway, MMAR is a local association for realtors. It's part of a 3-party agreement. We work with local, state, and national association. And we advocate for home ownership, insurance, road improvements, wildfire mitigation, and so much more. We really are on the front lines right now of trying to fight for you guys for getting cheaper insurance, affordable housing, figuring out how to tackle this wildfire risk. And so when realtors join our association, it's to help you guys out. So we have a certified mountain area specialist course where all of our realtors take courses and they become experts on what's happening in the mountains. So I want to introduce Cathie really quick. I know we don't have a lot of time. She's she's the chair of our wildfire committee.
Thanks, Lyndee. Yes, part of the Mountain Metro Association of Realtors is to provide education to all of our brokers and real estate agents and affiliates that are members. And top of the list, going along with it, we're all in this together, is wildfire education. So we have formed several wildfire classes that we provide our members. We have Wildfire 1, which goes over the history of wildfire and insurability. We have Wildfire 2, which we push out all the education from Rotary Wildfire on home assessments, self-defensible space, and home hardening. So we have responsibility as mountain area specialists in the real estate business to educate everybody that we bring up here, our sellers as well. So we take it very seriously to educate people on the wildfire risk, home hardening, and self-defense. If you live here, you have to partake, and we take that accountability very seriously. Our third class is on restoration and preparation with evacuation and shelters and things like that. Most importantly, the Wildfire Committee is focusing on 2 main things: pushing out the ambassador programs to our real estate brokers and our affiliates. We are really making sure that they tell the people that are moving up here about who their ambassador is, because if new people coming up here know who their ambassador is, then they're going to get firsthand the home hardening information. So we're really pushing that out. If you live up here, here's your home ambassador. Get connected, get started right away. The other thing that we're pushing is town halls, just like this. Because if we can get new residents to all the town halls throughout the year, then they can also hear the message that you're hearing, talk to the legislative representatives, get the home hardening from Rotary Wildfire and the fire departments. So we're partnering with the fire departments as well as you guys. We're all on this together, and we're in it to educate all the people that we bring up here. So we do more than just give cookies at open houses. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Cathie and Lyndee. That was great. Okay, so next we have Rotary Wildfire Ready, and we have Sharon Trilk volunteer for Rotary Wildfire Ready, and she's going to give a nice 10-minute presentation.
Thanks, Shirley. Hello, everyone. It's no surprise to most of us that we're in the highest wildfire risk area in Colorado and in the top 10 risk in the United States. We humans don't have the greatest track record when it comes to trying to understand our environment before making policy to change it. And wildfire suppression is just one example. 100 years ago, the U.S. Forest Service started requiring all wildfires to be suppressed, resulting in the unhealthy overgrowth that we see now. Where historically 40 to 60 trees per acre were the norm, now today we have hundreds of trees per acre, as you can see. Next, in these side-by-side comparisons of Jefferson County and also of the stretch of the South Platte River. That greater density of trees means that fires burn hotter and they travel crown to crown, making them nearly impossible to fight on the ground, unlike in well-mitigated areas as seen in the diagram from Elk Creek Fire's Community Wildfire Protection Plan there on the right. Even if a home, which is wildfire fuel itself, is not present, the land still needs to be mitigated in order to restore it to a healthy balance that we knocked it out of and to make wildfire safer for our firefighters to knock down and contain. The changes to our precipitation and temperatures caused by climate change are increasing our wildfire danger to the point that we no longer have wildfire seasons. We have devastating fires that break out all year round, such as the Lower North Fork Fire, which started in March, and the Marshall Fire, which happened in December. Worse still, man-made climate change has made for more mild winters, and that has caused the mountain pine beetle to thrive and kill large swaths of tree stands. If you take a drive through Grand County anytime, you will see large areas of gray, dead trees, and those pine beetles are moving here in Conifer and Evergreen already. We live in the WUI, we all know that. Jefferson County just finished their CDPHE and expanded the WUI to go even further and cover more of Jefferson County. More and more people are living in the wildland urban interface, and that natural land that we cherish unfortunately intersects with our desire to suppress fire and elevates the risk for those within those areas. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes when we have those big fires what it really means. So this overlay shows you if the Cameron Peak Fire had happened here, this is how much it would have burned over our area. Same thing with the East Troublesome Fire as well. The Hayman Fire, which happened near our area, burned so fast in one day, it burned up in the area that was the size of Elk Creek Fire's district. It moves fast, and we have to get out of its way. The trouble with large wildfires is that they burn so hot that it sterilizes the top layer of soil, making recovery that much more difficult and protracted, leading to soil erosion, loss of habitat for plant life and wildlife, and flood danger increases. It's another reason that we must mitigate the forest as well as around our homes. Evacuation is the #1 threat to life safety up here. We have neighborhoods that have one way in and one way out. The Marshall Fire had 30,000 people evacuated, still took 4 to 5 hours, and they had tons of roads that people could use. We do not. If we were to have a fire like that, it would take hours to get everyone out because that congestion would get worse. Our neighborhoods have non-survivable roadways, as you can see from the CWPP here on the left. If it's totally clear, you don't have to worry about trees catching fire and then falling down across your pathway to get out. The next time that you leave your driveway in your neighborhood, take a look and see what it looks like and wonder. And make sure that you are working to mitigate your land. As you can see, once you get to the main arteries, that congestion is only going to get worse. Even if you get to the highway, it's just going to take hours to get out. So it's really important to be signed up for those lookout alerts, to get that information and to heed those evacuation orders, or leave as soon as you feel uncomfortable, because the sooner you get out, the safer it is. So what can we do about it? We can create resilient landscapes. We can make sure we harden our homes. We can make sure that we are mitigating our properties. When we have our county and our U.S. Forest Service working to mitigate large-scale landscape projects, we support those projects because that is going to help make our entire community safer, because it's going to be a bigger area that gets cleared out. We have worked on installing early warning systems. We've got digital cameras out that will help detect fires as Rotary Wildfire ready. And we've done help with fuel breaks and effective evacuation. So who are we? We started in 2019. Cindy Latham and Evergreen Rotary did this in order to help increase wildfire awareness and preparedness, and to communicate and help make our area safer. Rotary Wildfire ready by the numbers. We now have 4 counties using our materials. We've installed 5 cameras. We partner with 8 fire departments. We've taken our truck that we got donated from a local realtor, and built and created an educational truck out of it, taken it to events and talked to, seen 10,000 people, printed 36,000 brochures, and we've gotten more to catch with us online. You can find more information on our website at rotarywildfireready.com. You can download a Rotary Wildfire Ready app on your mobile device, which has some great videos and tutorials and more information. And you can pick up one of our brochures over at the Community Ambassador table if you want to get more that way in print. If you'd like to get involved, we are always looking for more committee members, and we're always looking for more volunteers to help us get out at more events. So come talk to me or any of our ambassadors over there, and we would love to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Regarding evacuation, so important. Conifer Rotary is actually running volunteer days. They're going to thin the side of the most dangerous evacuation route, which is Highway 73. May 10th and more days in June, they're going to be volunteering. So please sign up to volunteer with them at the Rotary table in the back. So that's a very worthwhile cause. Okay, and then also, we have a lot of information on the Conifer Area Council website about wildfire, wildfire preparedness, all of that. So we welcome you to go to our website. So next, we have legislative and county updates. First is David Clark, who is representing Representative Pettersen's office.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for having us, Shirley. Like she said, my name is David Clark. I'm a constituent services representative for Congresswoman Pedersen's office. Congresswoman Brittany Pedersen is Conifer's Congresswoman, and I know that wildfire and the rising costs for homeowners insurance are absolutely top of mind for her, particularly in people in these areas of Jeffco, where it's particularly it's been particularly painful and able to buy and insure a house. She also is thinking a lot about how to prepare our communities for natural disasters with threats like wildfires, hail, flooding, driving up insurance rates, and has a variety of bills that would help address this to help bolster our early detection capabilities, make communities more resilient to natural disasters, and also support post-fire recovery. And so those bills include the Strengthening Wildfire Resiliency Through Satellites Act, the Natural Disaster Property Protection Act, and the Post-Disaster Reforestation and Restoration Act. And additionally, last year, the Congresswoman actually selected 2 projects approved them, recommended them for funding through Congress through the appropriations process. One of which would have gone towards Jefferson County actually to work on hazardous fuel mitigation and some of those non-survivable evacuation corridors to help hit where the mitigation is most needed, as well as a project that would have gone towards the Colorado Division of Fire Prevention, towards fire mitigation services. Unfortunately, Congress failed to pass a budget this past year, and as part of that process, we're not able to pass those projects, get funding for them, but we have opened, our office has opened up for funding through community project funds for the coming year, and looks forward to applications. And then finally, the representative is concerned about the ways in which federal dollars, particularly around wildfire mitigation, have been cut. Particularly, most recently, the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities grant, and a variety of other things. And so it is working hard to advocate for Conifer and Jefferson County's fair share of federal dollars when it comes to wildfire mitigation. Thank you.
Thank you, David. So next we have State Senator Mark Baisley. Well, Tammy's story was going to be next, but she's not here yet, so we'll give her a little bit of time to get here if she's still coming. Mark.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming out. The nightmare is almost over. 3 weeks from now, we'll stop micromanaging your lives, at least to that detail. So yeah, we managed to pass an awful lot of rotten bills and some good ones as well. 2 that I need to make you aware of, I think that you ought to be aware of. One is Senate Bill 276, that effectively will make Colorado a sanctuary state. Now, regardless of how you feel about doing that, one or the other, this could very well affect the federal funding that we receive. So, as we all know, President Trump is he's taking that seriously and leaning on states that take those acts. So we need to watch that because that could really affect us in a lot of pretty negative ways. The second is one that if you haven't heard about it, you sure will. It's House Bill 1312. It's just made national news, and there will be a protest at the Capitol tomorrow about it, so you need to have that on your radar as well. The title for the bill is Concerning Legal Protections for Transgender Individuals. Transgender individuals certainly deserve protection in our respect. However, this bill protects them from their parents. So this is a step way too far, in my opinion. On the good news, so I've been working very closely with Senator Cutter and Commissioner Dahlkemper over there on the WUIs on the Wildland urban interface. We passed a bill out of committee late last night, and it gives flexibility for defining boundaries. It extends some dates that we needed to so that counties could make those compliance, and we know where the requirements are from this side of the boundary and this side of the boundary. So that was very important, and thank you, Commissioner, both of you, Commissioner Zenzinger as well. Boy, I miss you in the Senate. Yeah, so great. Also, a couple other things. Last month, we won the Sundance Film Festival for Colorado. That's a big deal. You know, we've brought in some other big wins in the Tech Hub for Quantum Computing and the CHIPS Act. But you know, if we can bring some great job opportunities, good paying jobs for people, then things like affordable housing starts becoming less of an issue and so on. If we can afford people the opportunity to make a good living for themselves and have something left over to help the others around them. So that's cool. Sundance Film Festival, having that come, and we beat out other states for that. That was a big competition, working with the governor and others, and we pulled that in. had a big celebration last week on that. This is like having the Super Bowl for 10 years in a row. I mean, this will bring in $2 billion into our economy. So it's a 10-year commitment. It's 2.5 weeks in Boulder every January for the next 10 years. Very cool. And speaking of that, I received a phone call on my way in, as I was pulling in the parking lot, even still on that phone call, from another company, a tech company, that is looking for a place to place their location. It's a new company, well-funded technology company, and want to talk to me about moving to Colorado. So we are attracting those companies. This is a very cool thing, and we'll keep working on that. And the last thing I have is to tell you that the rumors about my running for governor are true. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. So next, we have county commissioners. We have 2 of them with us tonight. So I'm gonna, Lesley, you can introduce, okay?
Thank you, Shirley. Hi, everyone. How are you doing tonight? It is so good to see you. And as you know, I'm very proud to serve as your county commissioner on the board with Andy Kerr. And tonight, we have our newest county commissioner, former Senator Rachel Zenzinger. And I'm going to turn the mic over to her. We're going to tag team. We'll stay within our 5 minutes. Otherwise, we know Angela's going to give us the boot because you know how she is. Keep us on track.
I'm definitely trying to make a good impression on Angela, so here we go. Keeping with the fire theme, we have 2 announcements. First of all, thanks to a grant from the Department of Homeland Security, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office acquired a sim table, which is short for simulation table. It's essentially a high-tech sandbox that allows first responders to simulate fires in real time. If you're interested, you can Google sim table and you can find a website, and they have some demonstration videos on there if you want to take a look at it. On Monday, Jefferson County hosted a joint training with Douglas County, the U.S. Forest Service, Denver Water, fire districts, and they did a wildfire simulation in Waterton Canyon. And what this equipment will do is it allows crews to train on a more realistic setting. And we are planning on allowing the table to travel to different communities so that they can also take advantage of this real life training. And the equipment allows crews to train beyond just your typical waiting for a fire to happen type of opportunities. And it's a tool that allows us to see in real time the way that homeowners can, and the mitigation efforts that you do, make an impact on the way that fires operate. So it's a pretty cool tool. Sim table. The second thing is, I'm sure you've probably met our Nate Whittington, our emergency manager. We are incredibly proud to celebrate that Nathan Whittington was recognized as the statewide emergency manager of the year right here in Jefferson County. So it's pretty incredible. And he received this honor at the Colorado Emergency Management Conference. So I know that Nathan, over the last couple of years, has really led many transformative initiatives that have strengthened our community's preparedness and our resilience and our response capabilities. So we are pretty proud that we have the Emergency Manager of the Year right here at Jeffco.
Thanks so much, Commissioner Zenzinger. And I want to tell you that Commissioner Kerr really wanted to be here tonight, but he is representing us on the Dr. Cog board this evening. But he wanted to make sure we said to say hello on his behalf. Now, I think many of you already know this, but for those of you who don't, in a unanimous vote, the Jefferson County Board of Commissioners affirmed on April 8th Elk Creek Fire Protection District's unification efforts. We believe the agency correctly followed the state statutes, exclusion requirements, and we just wanted to underscore that, and we wanted to give a big round of thanks to people on both sides of the oral arguments who presented to the board, and we want to thank you, the community, who showed up as well to hear those oral arguments. Thanks for being there. Jefferson County last Thursday hosted the Colorado Fire Commission. I'm one of 2 county commissioners, along with Montezuma Montezuma County Commissioner Jim Candelaria, who were appointed by the governor to the commission. The commission is doing a lot of in-depth work around getting our arms around the increasing costs of homeowners insurance, looking at prescribed burns. We just released a statewide strategy related to control burns, which I know many of you are familiar with, and they're a very important tool as we build our wildfire resiliency. And in addition to that, I wanted to share there are two bills. You heard Senator Baisley talk about the WUI Code Board bill. Thanks so much again to Senator Baisley and Senator Cutter for listening to our concerns. Another important amendment was cooperative agreements with our fire rescue districts as well as counties, so we can work together to build wildfire resiliency as we implement those WUI codes. Also, homeowners insurance. There are 3 bills that are working their way through the legislature, and there's lots to share on that. We're running low on time. One would create an enterprise zone dealing with hail, because hail really increases the cost of homeowners insurance here in Colorado, as well as our wildfire risk. And we're thankful for the legislators who are working on those issues. In closing, I just want to share, mark your calendar for May 19th. The Board of County Commissioners will be hosting our virtual town hall. It will be from 6 to 7. We're going to focus on next steps related to 1A. We'll also talk about the impact of federal funding and other administrative decisions on the county and how we're navigating those, and really look forward to your questions. We hope you can join us. That's May 19th from 6 to 7. Go to jeffco.us for more. Thank you very much. Great to see you tonight.
Thank you, commissioners. Okay, so we've got some candidates that have been in the lobby area out there, and I'd just like to introduce them right now. So hopefully you're all in here. First we have Michael Bartlett. Michael, are they here? I don't know. Well, anyway, okay, next we have Al Leo. There's Al. There's Al back there. And Kathleen Noonan. Over here. Tom Seymour. Right here. And Todd Wagner. Okay. Thank you for being here tonight. They will be out in the lobby for a little while longer so that you can talk to them. So please go up and talk to them. We also have some wildfire mitigation specialists here tonight. I hope I can say these names. But Lee Redling Schaefer, are you here? You're right there. So please go talk to him. And then we've got Scott Halliday back here. And Nathan Hankins. Anyway, they'll be out in the lobby also. So please go talk to them because they can help you with, your mitigation. So please go talk to them. They're great guys. Then also we have here tonight from CDOT, Tom DiNardo. Did I say that correctly? Okay, so Tom is here tonight. I know there's a lot of people that are interested in the Kings Valley interchange, so he can talk to you about that. But he will also be speaking in September when our next town hall meeting will be, so you can keep up to date with him and what's happening with CDOT and everything, Highway 285. Next, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that our fire department community ambassadors are over here. Be sure you know your community ambassadors. And then, before we break, I have to give a kudo, a shout out, and actually bring my board of directors up here and advisors. So would you guys all come up, please? We have Kurt Keisler, get over here. Marilyn Salzman, Christy Seaborn, Angela Bassano, Susie Nelson, Katie Rothman, Thomas Schenk, Christy Cragen, Rob Somend, did I say that right? Pat Bouchard and Erica Armstrong. And then we also have advisors Peter Barkman, Jan and Ron Schmidt, Punky Kiefer, and John Wallach. So So if somebody has a camera, please take a picture. It looks like Sharon's already doing that. Can you get us all in here? Come on over. Punky. Thank you, Sharon. And thank you, it isn't just me up here. They've all been working tonight, so it's a great group of people. So our next town hall meeting will not be until September. We'll have 4 town hall meetings next year. We always have them the 3rd Wednesday of September, November, February, and April. And we hope to see you at all of those. But before that, we've got an elevation celebration, the run. There's going to be so many things happening in Conifer, and we hope to see you all at every single one of those. So thank you so much for coming. Everybody's here to talk to. Please stick around. We still have cookies. We have cat coffee and water. Please stick around, meet your neighbors, and talk to all of our presenters. Thank you.